In this update, we have modified the Save to Sew notes and general notes for the software, as we had some users that utilized the notes section and put in notes for their design, but then they also use Save to Sew. And in the previous version, if you had a design that had notes in it and then you went and ran a design through Save to Sew, the Save to Sew notes would populate into the notes section and would erase whatever notes you already had there. So we've made some changes so that this will not happen anymore. So I want to go ahead and show you a little bit about how it works now and what you'll need to do in order to get Save to Sew notes and to print along with your design. So you can see I'm using this tree design that we used in another video. But what I'm going to start out with is I'm going to go to the notes box up here in the properties box. One thing I will point out is if you have anything selected in your design, you will notice that you do not have access to the notes in the properties box. You have to make sure that nothing is selected on your screen, and when nothing is selected, the notes box appears. So what I'm going to do is with this design, I know that I'm going to run this design out using 60 weight thread, which is different, which is for a little bit more finer detail. And so I want to make sure in the notes that I emphasize this so that when I go to look at the design, the printout, that I remember that I'm going to be using 60 weight thread. So I'm just going to put a couple asterisks in here and then type in use 60 weight thread only. So I'm going to type that in, and I want to go ahead and show you the print preview. In the print preview, you can see that I have the design here, and you can see down at the bottom it says notes, use 60 weight thread only. And just a little reminder to myself. So I'm going to hit close here. I'm going to come back. Now I'm going to run this design through Save to Sew. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Save to Sew. And let's say that I'm going to run this out onto some denim. And it's a pretty open design. Let's go ahead and hit Next. I'm going to hit Apply to apply density, underlay, and pole compensation values. I'm going to hit Next. Now it's going to tell me what type of stabilizer to use, which is a Floriani Stitch and Wash Fusible. And let me go ahead and hit Finish. And I'm not going to save this one yet, but you can see that what happened is over here underneath the notes that I previously wrote, it says Save to Sew, and it gives me the tips. Now I want to show you the print preview again. So let's go to print preview. You can see that it still only shows me to use a 60 weight thread only. It does not show me the Save to Sew note. So I'm going to go ahead and hit close here. I'm going to come back to my notes box. I want these notes to show up. You know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So now we have that option. By default, they do not show up. But if you want those tips to show up in your printout, all you have to do is come up to here where it says Save to Sew, and you have to select this line right here and then hit delete. And by doing that, it lets the software know that you want to include that inside of your design notes. So let's go ahead and go to print preview again, and now you will see that it has the notes for use 60 weight thread only, and then it goes into your tips. So just to show you that you can still get those Save to Sew notes, but the nice thing is with this update, we made it possible so that you can still keep your notes that you've written in about a design and also get the Save to Sew notes as well. The one will not override the other. So that's just something. Hope that those of you who have asked for it, hope that you appreciate the abilities that you now have when working with Save to Sew notes or design notes.